We're going to try this new 34-inch grinder on a 1025R subcompact tractor. To my knowledge, this is the first 34-inch direct drive grinder on the market. We showed it a couple of weeks ago on a larger tractor. We got a lot of questions about operation on a subcompact. If you've got experience with, or if you've watched a lot of videos with grinders like this, you'll notice two things immediately. First, you'll see how it's pulling the tractor and the grinder into the stump to the right, and we'll show a solution for that in a few minutes. And second, you'll notice the more power and how much faster it can grind than a 24-inch equivalent. Now, as always, where possible, you want to cut your stump off as low as you can. Dave was intending to cut a flat cut here, but as you can see, that's not going so well.
Stop, 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 stop. Oh.
You're in the dirt. Your flat cut was not very flat.
Well, see, I angle cut that so that you would have perfect approach for the stump grinder.
You're a big talker. You're a big talker.
Takes a lot of skill to get a cut like that.
Now, if you're impatient and you want to see a solution to the grinder pulling into the stump like this, we show a better example at 14 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we show a solution. But if you've got time, there's a lot of good action video and detailed explanation of this grinder coming up. We appreciate you watching. Now, this stump was 5 years old. I believe we cut this tree down right before I had my heart stent put in, because I remember fainting while I was trying to cut it.
Electric or two-stroke?
Two-stroke. Down on my hands and knees, bent over, was not going very well with me in the hot summertime there before I had my heart situation. So it's fairly old is the point. The stump is fairly old. This wasn't a huge challenge, but did you notice it didn't hop? No, it sucked it into the stump a couple times, but other than that. And I'm gonna illustrate. That was with the 24-inch grinder grinding from I don't know whether you call it left or right. Grinding from driver's side to passenger side was the most effective way to grind a stump. With the 34-inch grinder, I'm finding that not to be the case, because it's got so much extra torque on that wheel that it pulls you into the stump. And so I'm finding that grinding the other way, we ground this one the traditional way, but I'm finding that grinding from, I'm going to call it the right to the left of the stump actually works better, because you don't get that, if it decides to pull, it pulls away from the...
Right, instead of pulling into, because I'm hoping Christy got the shot, but there's a fantastic part here where that, it just takes a big old channel out of that thing. I was like, whoa, and it didn't hurt the tractor. Obviously the grinder's pretty impressive, so.
We have another stump over here, Dave, that was a walnut tree that we just cut down last summer, and we ground that stump to ground level with one of the prototypes.
Right.
And obviously the prototype didn't do a good enough job to suit us, or you would have seen that video. That's the fix that we have here, right? This
Generation 3, correct?
Generation 3 and Generation Right. It's pretty clear. It's been a long time since we've shown the heavy hitch tooth bar, and that reminds me of a new product they've got, a 3-point hitch mounted land leveler. We showed this land leveler on a loader mount a while back. It worked really well, and we found that maybe a 3-point hitch version might even work better. So don't forget code TTWT.
I'm thinking, this was so fast. Do you have time to grind another one?
Well, we're going to grind that one down to ground level. That one that was already ground level, we're going to ground it down.
Yeah, but there's one that's sticking up that's not ground level.
You're adding to the workload,
Absolutely.
Christy. Well, let's stop talking here. Let's get to it.
Absolutely.
Folks, this black walnut stump was hard. I'm telling you, it was really tough. And I've ground black walnut before, and I've found it quite difficult. First time I've ever seen it bounce. Able to take huge bites. These bites that I'm taking are just really big. If you don't have your ISO tunes yet for the holidays, right now is the time to get them. Use the link in the description and code TTWT30 for 30% off everything in the store. These are the best hearing protection that I know of. They're just so handy to deal with. Several different styles available. This one here, if you want to hang up the phone, you just put it together. If you want to answer the phone, you just pull them apart. This little magnet is directly connected to whether your phone comes off the hook or not, only when it's ringing, of course. But just so handy to deal with. There's also the wireless versions if you want them just in the ear and no cable. Advantages to both, you choose. You can also get over-the-air versions. isotunes.com, but use the link in the description and code TTWT30. 30% off everything in the store. We need your last-minute raking here with your size 13 or whatever it is.
It's actually an 11 and a half, believe it or not.
Well, that's not too bad. People always wonder why I use my boots instead of a rake, but it actually, for small jobs, it works easier.
Well, that's pretty good right there. You can mow over that.
Dave, let's take a look at the construction of this thing. Lots of changes to this machine from the 24-inch version, and actually all the 24-inch versions that I know of. One is that this one's got the green teeth, the less expensive green teeth than those expensive carbide teeth. I find it cuts just as good.
I got no complaints. You're
In fact,
a foot deep with this thing. So.
It may cut better, actually. And the first tip I had on this was the Ventrac grinders have always used these green teeth, and they cut very well as well. So I don't have any issues with that. Now look how they're laid out. They're all basically the same distance from the wheel itself, from the rotor itself. I guess this bottom one here is a little bit set in a little bit further. We've got the outside pair, and then we've got basically 4 pairs that step inward on the rotor a little bit at a time. Well, that means you're going to be cutting completely all of the stump for at least that first, what is it, 2 inches there, right?
Yes, it's a lot.
And that is what gives it the power. And if you're in a kind of a weak stump or a somewhat rotted stump like our first one, that gives you enough then to tear off stuff that's up above here.
On both of these stumps, there was large chunks that came off, so
yeah,
it's clearly working.
Sometimes if you can get and cut in under there, then you can get the large chunks. And you see that anytime you see one of these grinders, if you're seeing little fine sawdust, and that's all you're able to get out of it, you're not being very efficient.
Right.
And maybe all the grinder can do, but you're not being very efficient. You can tell your efficiency when you start seeing bigger shavings, bigger pieces. I'm not necessarily talking about the big chunks. Those are breaking off, obviously. But we've got several rows of teeth, and they're just jammed as close together as they can be. The idea is with this larger diameter grinder, we can get more teeth cuts per second on the wheel, right? And if you get more cuts per second, then each cut is going to have a smaller bite.
Right, it has less work to do because it's sharing the load against more teeth.
That's what causes the jumping, by the way. It's when an individual tooth tries to take more bite than what it can handle,
right.
It'll force the whole thing to jump up. So if we can hit it with more teeth bites per second, then we're going to reduce the jumping. The other thing is, since the teeth are further out, right, they're moving faster.
Right.
And so there's more force, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I punch you at this fast, it's one thing, but if I punch you a lot faster, it's going to hurt more,
yes,
right?
Carries more energy.
It's going to hurt the stump more as well, right? So by them moving faster, I don't know how to calculate that. I probably could have done it in physics class in college, but that was a long time ago.
I never had a physics class in college, so I'm out on that one.
Yeah, but you get the idea, right?
Absolutely.
They're moving faster, they hit the stump harder, and they're not going to bounce off as easily.
And I believe there's also a deal with, because the disc itself is larger and therefore heavier, it has more inertia stored up inside of it, so when it does start to bog down, it carries more load with it and is able to push through it, versus the 24 doesn't have as much weight behind it.
Exactly.
Every blow has less power, because it's not as
exactly.
quick and it doesn't have all the weight behind it.
Okay, so let's look up here. Now, Dave, the 24-inch design, and as far as I know, all of the other brands of the 24-inch design has a hinge built into this mechanism right here. Now, that hinge is for a specific reason, and that is to allow the grinder to have some relief. right? So you have that hinge, and when you're grinding, as you're pulling forward, you're not supposed to pull so hard, right? You're supposed to let the hinge, let the grinder do the grinding rather than you pull it through the stump.
Okay, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
How does it work in practice?
I put the pin in the hinge. Okay.
There's no pin to put in this hinge.
That's right, because when we did this design, I just said, forget the hinge. It's a waste of steel, and the hinge was an early attempt to try to deal with the bouncing.
Right?
Right.
Because everything is trying to get rid of that bounce, right? Because the bounce is where we break things.
The bounce is where we break things. If you've heard of people breaking these things on a subcompact tractor or even a larger tractor, and it's because they get to bouncing. I've got video of it. I've seen it, a video of it. I can't show it because of who did it. Wasn't one of my tractors. Wasn't a green tractor. It wasn't, I don't even want to go there. It doesn't matter what tractor it was because it happened because the grinder was bouncing really
Shock
high.
load.
Right? And then when it came back down and hit that stump, about the 4th or 5th time, it was bouncing 18 inches high.
Wow. That's aggressive.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming this happens so quick that there's really no way to stop it before it gets out of hand, right?
Right, and then you sort of become numb to the bouncing.
Okay.
In other words, it's just part of grinding a stump, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I've ground 50 others, and I've had that bouncing. And then one time it gets out of control, and you just can't get... So at first we thought just weight, just additional weight. So we actually tried, don't tell OSHA, but we actually tried riding on it.
Right.
And the weight helped, but it still didn't prevent the bouncing. So we realized there had to be something more to it, and that's why we went to the larger diameter, more teeth hitting per second, all that. But since we have solved, essentially, the bouncing now, we don't need that hinge.
No, it's jumped once, and we really don't know why.
It chopped off that big piece, right?
Yeah. And I will say there was a lot more stump under the ground than we thought. I mean, you were getting into the roots and everything.
Yeah.
That stump got rather large quickly.
Yeah. You know, you'll never eliminate all the bounce, but just a consistent bounce when you're going across the stump, it's just gone.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything that functions as well as this one.
Looks good, runs smooth.
One of the competitors has tried to put a shock in there, right? And their idea was to put some down pressure on that hinge. I'm presuming, I haven't spoken to him, to put some down pressure on that hinge, but try to absorb some of that bounce. Again, trying to work with the bounce. But we've got that solved here. This grinder has so much more left to right torque. One of our initial prototypes, all of our initial prototypes were longer than this. And we thought that by being longer, we'd have a little less angle on the PTO shaft, maybe be able to provide some better visibility in here. We had to back out of that and actually shrink the design to get it as close as we could, so we didn't put any extra leverage on the tractor. So that's what we've got going here.
And she's fairly compact. We're not, what are we, 2 foot off the end of that?
Yeah,
hitch?
if that much. Well, here.
He's got a measuring tape. You've been hanging out with Kenton too much.
I have. The rotor is about 19.5 inches from the pin, from the center of the pin. So that's that 500 millimeters that everybody talks about on the loader, right? 19.5 inches. So it's pretty close. Even though it's fairly heavy, the tractor's going to be able to pick it up, right? And any like hop that we felt in the tractor, sometimes when I would lift up the 3-point, it would kind of, well, this is heavier, of course, than the 1P24.
Adding weight did solve the problem. We just needed weight in a different spot.
Yeah, we needed to be centrifugal weight, right?
Precisely.
Right now, on the Baumolite website, it's rated at like a 30 horsepower minimum. I don't think that's the right rating, and I'll speak to him about it and let him make his own judgment. I mean, he has to rate the products as he sees fit, but as far as I'm concerned, this is safer on a low horsepower tractor
than anything else that we have an option for.
Because it reduces that bounce dramatically. This is probably a mulberry stump. I can't remember for sure. We were trying to get rid of all the mulberry trees out of this area of our yard. I'm pretty sure it was mulberry. We cut it last year, so it's been cut about a year. Beyond that, you can see with me how tough it's going to be. Now that jerkiness is because of my top link. It's an on-off valve, so it either moves or it doesn't. I don't have any flex in that, right? There's no proportionality. My intent is to have this straight. It's hard for me to see straight, but that's the intent. Now again, I'm on this side of the stump, so I expect it to pull that way, which is probably not good, but we'll try it just to show you. what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about the pulling to the right. So if I go around the other side, now that pulling to the right pulls me away from the stump.
Some awful sandy soil there, sir.
Yeah? Well, I can tell you that's a deep. I've never ground stumps this deep because it's always been too much of a pain.
I'm pretty sure you could bury that thing.
Yeah, it's obviously rated to grind deeper than the other grinder, but it's also just grinding it so easily that I keep
Yes.
at it. A lot of people commented on the first episode that their 24-inch works great for them, and since it's less money, they prefer that. And I get it. If you're just grinding a little bit, you don't grind very many stumps, and you can be careful to deal with the hop. We've ground a lot of stumps with one of those 24-inch grinders. But if you're using one of these professionally at all, if you're using it once a week to grind stumps for people, this would pay for itself very quickly. It's so much faster. It's so much safer on your tractor. It works fine on a 1025R. I just don't see any reason not to go ahead and purchase this machine if you're using it commercially.
The cost difference between that and the 24 is not the price of a transmission. So
Well, it actually is probably about the price of one transmission. This one lists at $5,000. I suspect you can get it cheaper through your dealer, but it's somewhere around $5,000 list. The teeth will be cheaper. Some of the commenters were talking about how often they have to replace the teeth on the other one. Well, those carbide teeth are expensive. Teeth will be cheaper on this. If you chip one, who cares, right? And then you can rotate these teeth. These are the three-way rotate
okay.
green teeth. So if you chip one side, you can rotate it around, reuse it. I'm still amazed.
I like it. It looks wonderful to me. Works wonderfully.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. So then, just as you received Christ Jesus as Lord, continue to live your lives in Him, rooted and built up in Him, strengthened in the faith as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness.
Whoa.